guys, this is Kayla.
And this is Becky, and we're with A Couple of Bees Read.
Yes, and we also have a weekly wine. So what's our weekly wine this week, Becky?
From Scout and Cellar, we have Galabat Reserve, and it is a Sauvignon Blanc. Okay. The Sauvignon Blanc is not my favorite wine. I'm more of a red wine person, but it's a 2022, and I thought we better go ahead and see how it is. It smells good, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
A little bit of lemon, I would say.
Yeah. It has some apple.
Apple. That's the one I was trying. It was like something.
And white pear.
Oh, okay.
I think the pear throws you off. You don't.
Yeah. It's like there is something besides grapes.
But it's the white pear. It has, I don't know, when I do taste it, you know how a pear is real firm? You know, when you bite into it, if it's not like mushy ripe. To me, I can really taste that. And of course, it has those notes, and it pairs well with fish, shellfish, anything like that. But Wayne made a apple cake, and it kind of fell apart on him because he put apple pie filling in the middle. But
is this not a dump cake? Dump cakes fall apart.
Yeah, well, he didn't mean it to be a dump cake.
Oh, okay.
But it kind of turned into one. But I just thought, I think this would taste good with this.
Like the sweetness pairs really well.
Oh, yeah.
With kind of the tartness of the wine.
It does. That's really good. So
Wayne should give us his recipe to put on the blog, because I'm sure
it's yellow cake mix.
I will type it in and make it look fancy. Okay.
And apple pie filling and caramels on top. So it's real simple. Get you some Sauvignon Blanc from Scout and Cellar.
And make yourself some apple crumble cake.
Yep. And that tastes delicious together. Wow. I am so glad he made that cake today.
Perfect pairing.
Oh, that is just wonderful. So, and remember, we're clean crafted. We are sustainably grown. Everything we do is environmentally safe. And it's vegan and gluten free. So, you know, if you're a vegan, you don't need gluten. I mean, what better thing to go with? No added sugars. So, you know, I mean, if you're doing sugar-free January, here you are. Yes. That's your thing for the year. So our wines don't have any additional sugars added to them. So, like
they also, if you were doing alcohol-free January, they had some alcohol-free wine.
Yes, and unfortunately, I did not get that one.
I don't know that that's unfortunate. I did not plan to do alcohol-free January. We might have to test it. Maybe I'll give up.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good from the other consultants and people who bought it, that it tastes like wine, you know, just not the alcohol in there. Well, the book we're reviewing today is Lisa Jewell, and it's called None of This is True. And believe me, the title says it all. It says,
but we can't give it away.
We can't give it away. But okay, it starts out with Josie and Alex. They're the main characters, and Josie is about 10, 20, 30, almost 30 years younger than her husband. She met him when she was 13.
Oh,
okay. And so there's a lot that goes on there, but I mean, they don't get married until she's 18. But he's in his 40s at that time and everything. And so a lot of stuff goes on in here. And they go out for her 45th birthday. Well, they just on a spur of the moment thing, Josie decides she wants to do something that they've never done before. And they go to this very kind of young, upbeat type restaurant. It's not something that they would normally go to. And as she and he are sitting there having dinner, this group comes in and there's this beautiful blonde there, and they're celebrating her birthday. And and Josie's really kind of drawn to that party, all of her friends and her husband and everything over there having such a good time. So she, the lady, Alex, is the birthday girl.
And the beautiful blonde.
And the beautiful blonde. She gets up and goes to the restroom. Well, Josie decides she's following her. So she goes in there and she strikes up a conversation with Alex. And she says, "Oh, we're birthday twins." And Alex looks at her and says, "We are?" She says, "Yes, today is my 45th birthday." She said, "Well, it's my 45th birthday too." And then they talk and find out that they were actually born on the same day in the same hospital.
Oh.
Yes. And so this kind of sparked something in Josie. She's not satisfied with her life and she wants some change. And, she talks a little bit and then goes back, and then you think that's it. Well, Josie becomes what I would call a bit of a stalker. She researches this Alex and finds out she's a podcaster, and she has these podcasts called All Woman. And it's all about successful women who have opened their own business, or, whether they're serving in charities or it's their own personal business, or they put themselves through school, or whatever it is, and so she promotes these women. And, this really sparks something in Josie. And she connives a way to run into Alex here. And, "Oh, you're my birthday twin. I remember seeing you the other night." Mm-hmm. And Alex is looking at her going, "Oh, yes, we did." And so she's just, she's got this little dog that she carries around named Fred. And
it's a good dog name.
Yeah, good dog name. And so anyway, Fred's a cute little thing. And, so that's kind of a conversation piece for them. And so the story just goes on. And she keeps just kind of showing up here and there. And then she said, "I know you do podcasts, and, there's really, I am changing my life. There's a big change coming. And I know that I don't fit the mold of your all woman podcast, but I could. You always get the women after they've become successful, but you could do a podcast with me as I'm beginning that journey to become something else." And the other thing is Alex is just a little bit kind of bored with the way things, she's done so many of these podcasts. It's like the same thing over and over. And she kind of gets intrigued by the idea, And
you told me about it earlier. She's really intrigued by Josie. Too,
yes.
Josie has these stories from her life that are a little almost over the top.
Yes. And so, and that's the thing. She decides, well, why don't we do one session and let's see how it goes. So she invites her in, and Josie really wants to be Alex. She wants to be Alex like Alex.
What is it? Single white female, that old movie?
Yeah. So she's like that. So it kind of sparks, and that's when it starts. And then as she's leaving, it's like she takes this little coffee pod which is kind of weird, like a Keurig pod, and she sneaks it in her, pocket and takes it home. And then she's there and just like, this is a piece of Alex's perfect life. And she puts it in her drawer, and yeah. So
it's very stalker.
And at that point, you're like, there's not something right about this woman. The hints are there, and Alex can sense that vibe. But then Josie is a wonderful manipulator, and she knows how to, because Alex is really a nice person. And, she doesn't want to offend anybody. She doesn't want to hurt Josie's feelings. And yet she's got that ambition where she wants to take her life and her career to the next level. And there's something about Josie, she thinks that it will. Okay. And so she's almost like she's lets her keep coming, even though she knows deep down, this is not a good idea.
Yeah. And that something is fishy.
Yeah. Something's just not clicking on all cylinders here or something. And, but I can't tell you too much more because if I do, it will ruin the whole thing. Because there's several different twists in here, and you know, I talk about an unreliable narrator. Josie is like you could put her character next to it in a dictionary, and it would be exactly like, okay, this woman is definitely it, and it's just really an interesting read. I won't say that it was not necessarily a fast read, but it was intense. I mean, it was deeply intense because you really, and as the story goes on, you really don't like Josie. I mean, and within a couple of weeks of becoming part of Alex's life, 2 people are dead. Another person's in a coma. And then somebody kind of leaves the scene, and it's just bizarre. And so bizarre. And you find out all these crazy things about her daughters, her 2 daughters. Like one runs away when she's
Josie's
16. Josie's daughters. One runs away when she's 16. The other one sits in a room and is a gamer and eats baby food all day. And yes, that it is quite bizarre. But then you find out, and you think her husband's kind of weird too, you know. But then in the end, you find out some good things, but then they're just not good enough.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it's a pretty intense read. So, you know, I always like a happy ending. Well, I did not get my happy ending in this book.
Oh boy!
Oh no!
It sounds very single white female.
And if you haven't seen, I haven't seen that
movie. It's old.
Okay, well,
it's like 80s old.
Well, and you'd think 80s. You'd think I was. I mean, I was a young mom then.
I was a baby.
You were a baby.
At the end of the 80s.
yeah. But I had 2 babies, and you know, one going to the doctor all the time because she had leukemia, and I don't think I watched a lot of movies during that time.
Probably
really
not. No.
Lots of stuff going on in the life.
Well, we'll have a movie night one night.
Okay, well, we'll have to watch it because I've never seen that before. So, but anyway, so if you want like something that's really intense and will keep the gears in your brain rolling, Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True. And as I said, the title, it gives you a big hint about what's in these pages here. So, but it was an interesting read for sure. So I think you would like it.
We'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
All right,
but that is our weekly wine for this week and our book. So, guys, keep reading, keep drinking. Make sure to follow the links if you have the time.
All right,
bye, guys.
Bye.